Hi, this is Tara with Happy Horoscopes, and we're still going with Leo season. The good news is my computer is fixed and back, so I can do a video a little bit better than I could on my phone. Those ones on my phone, they were pretty good. It's just that I don't have a lot of memory on my phone because I have an older phone, and I kept having a countdown clock that was making me nervous while I was trying to talk. But anyway, so before we go any further and talk about the Lionsgate portal, I just wanted to go over very quickly our reading for the Leo season, because this is going to be very important for the Lionsgate portal, and then I'm going to explain that to you in a second. So, our first, the energy that was moving away from us, it was the Earth Star chakra, and get out of your comfort zone. Don't stay where you are. You want to move forward. Leo is all about being bright, being bold, being out there, trying new things, going after what you want the most. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. And then our card in the present was Ophiuchus, and that's the jealousy card. But as we said, you know, the sort of the meaning of the card is that things are so good for you that people are jealous of you. You don't necessarily want people to be envious of you. Might be nice if you're, but the way to look at this is, how are you feeling? Are you feeling blessed? Are you feeling joyous? Are you feeling wonderful in the here and now? Because how you feel right now is what's going to propel you forward. Okay, so that's what this card is all about. In a way, I want you to feel envious of yourself. Feel like, how could things get any better? Yeah, we're going to, you know, things can always get better, and that's what's beautiful about this wonderful life that we're living. And then the where the energy was taking us was the resistance card, energy block. And as I said in my original video, and I'm still, this is, I feel like this is so important to us to really get into the best way to manifest and what you want to manifest during the Lionsgate portal, when the portal is open, and during this entire season, and always when you're manifesting, actually. But anyway, when we were talking about resistance, I suggested going within and thinking about the things that you really want. And what do you think is stopping you from getting them? Don't look at outside sources. Look within, because that's the only thing that is stopping you, is yourself. Are you thinking to yourself, oh, that can't happen? That's the kind of stuff that you want to get rid of. Okay, and that's why that came out. And then I'm going to talk about our bonus card in a minute after I describe the Lionsgate portal. So, the Lionsgate, it occurs every year on August 8th. It was it's a very magical manifestation opportunity. There's just so much good, positive energy that is coming from the heavens. And it kind of goes all the way back to Egypt, when, you know, you talk about the dog days of summer. A lot of people don't realize the dog days of summer, that comes from, again, from Egypt, because that was when they could see the Sirius was one of the brightest things in the sky. It's Sirius, the dog star. So those were the dog days of summer. That was when the Egyptians felt, you know, as if they were more blessed than the rest of the year, because the Nile would flood. And when the Nile flooded, well, now they've got water, and they can, you know, they've got crops, they've got drinking water, they've got, you know, they're able to reduce, when the rest of the year it was more of a struggle. So that's why it was considered such a magical time, and it actually still is a big holiday celebrated in Egypt, because it was so important. The Nile flooding over, and, you know, having all of that life-giving water for crops and everything. And keep in mind, I mean, Egypt is huge and it's all desert, so of course just this little patch of water, it was so vital to them. Not only that, but that was how they transported everything. I mean, all of the pyramids, all of the blocks and everything used, those were all transported on the Nile. So, the Nile rising, having more Nile, if you will, was so super magically important to the Egyptians and, their life and a lot of our astrology and a lot of our celebrations and stuff that we have today come from their beliefs and how they worked with the energy. Just because we live in a modern world where they've built a dam and the Nile is always, full and they always have water, that doesn't mean we can't still celebrate, because there's always something that we would like to have more of that could make our lives better. And that's why the Lion's Gate is considered to be on August 8th, when the Lion's Gate opens, when that portal is open. That's when you want to put all of your efforts into manifesting. In the sky, what's happening is the Earth, the Sun, the dog star Sirius, and Orion's belt with the Pleiades. If you remember what our bonus card was, the Pleiades, look at that, which are it's a group of the brightest stars in the sky. They're all in perfect alignment. So you've got all of that bright, magical, manifestational energy all lined up with Earth to help us bring to life what matters the most to us, okay? So, a couple of things about manifesting. First of all, we're always manifesting. You get up in the morning and you open your eyes and you think, oh, the sun is shining, what a beautiful day, what's going to happen? You've already manifested yourself a wonderful day. Or you get up in the morning, you're like, oh, I'm not ready to get out of bed yet. You've manifested yourself hopefully another few minutes to rest and then try again. You get my point. Everything you think, everything you say, every action you take, you are putting energy out into the world and you are manifesting something. So if you're going to be doing that, do it mindfully. Do it in a way that is going to benefit you. Now, I know that, believe me, it's super hard to always be having positive thoughts and always be saying exactly the right thing. I'm a Sagittarius. I'm lucky if I can do 50-50 on saying the right thing. You know what I mean? And I don't want you going around like always trying to take stuff back or thinking, oh no, I put that out and now, no, it's over. Move on. That's what you have to do. When you feel like you've created an energy that isn't working for you, push it to the side, create a new energy. And you can do that in a second. You can turn your thoughts around. You can pivot. The same way that you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, I don't feel like going out of bed. You could close your eyes, open them up again and say, you know what? Who knows what's going to happen today? Let's go find out. And boom, you've changed it. You can always change your energy. Okay? So, you're always manifesting. Might as well do it mindfully. Obviously, what we want from manifesting is we want to put positive energy out there and get that same energy back to us. And that's why the Lion's Gate portal is so important, because it is a time when you're putting your positive energy, and there's so much bright positive energy that's coming from the heavens that it's almost it's like almost mind-blowing. Quite honestly, the things that you could make happen during this time period for yourself. Okay. A couple of things I want to talk to you though about manifesting and about this year in particular. I'm not going to get into a whole thing about numerology, but I'm feeling like 22 is a super important number, especially right now. The sun moved into Leo on July 22nd. It's going to exit Leo on August 22nd. And if you take 882022 and you add all those together, you get 22. Interestingly enough, the Pleiades card, where's my book? in my book for This Is Out of the Work Your Light Oracle Cards book, in the book, it's on page 118. So I'm just feeling 22 is very important. So 22 is a master magical number, like 11. There's many others. If you're interested in it, I strongly suggest that you do some more research, or if you have questions for me, just feel free to drop me an email or a note. I'm bad at like always checking them, but I do check and I will get back to you. Anyway, so everybody manifests differently. Some people like to use affirmations, some people like to use mantras, some people like a vision board, some people like a box. I'm a list person. I'm a list person, not just for manifesting. I'm a list person for everything. I put so much faith in a pad and a pen. I cannot even tell you. I feel like once I write it down, it's halfway done. So I've always made lists. So what I did the first thing I did was I meditated, and I'm going to talk to you about that in a second, because I got some really powerful information that I want to share with all of you. From that meditation about how to use this energy, suggestions on how you can use this energy for the Lionsgate portal. But what I did was, after I meditated, I made a list of 22 situations that I would like to manifest into my life. Now, I'm not expecting them all to happen at once. I'm not expecting them all to happen on August 8th. This is a very long and master list that goes far-reaching into my life and into a lot of different things. But I took a lot of time to really think about this list because 22 is a lot, honestly. And it took me a while to really focus. So let me talk about my meditation. I like to meditate before I do the readings, just so that I get, see if there's anything that the universe wants me to transmit out to you guys about the energy that we're working with. And I had a really, really very powerful meditation. It was almost instantaneous when I started thinking about or focusing on the Lionsgate portal. So what I saw in my manifestation was a door, a wooden door with a big lion's head kind of door knocker on it. I know it's kind of cliche, but what can I tell you? That's what I saw. And then 3 questions came to mind. And these are the 3 questions that I used when I created my list. These are the 3 questions that I'm using as I manifest and as I work with the energy that we've got right now. And by the way, before I start telling you about those questions, I meant to say this sooner. Even though the actual date is August 8th, that's when the portal is fully open. Remember, the universe is fluid. The universe is always in motion. Time is not like how we think about it, like this is the moment. No, it actually began on July 26th. So that was sort of when I started working with the energy. When a lot of people, you may have seen on Facebook, a lot of people have been talking about it. A lot of stuff has been going on about it, because that was that's when the portal begins to open, is on July 26th. There's a date when it closes too. I can't remember that right now. And it's really not that vital, to be quite honest. So we're not going to worry about that. Sorry, my phone just started going off, and it's nothing important, so I just wanted to get rid of it. Anyway, okay, so the 3 questions that I sort of asked myself, or my higher self asked myself, or maybe a higher being, I don't know, but here are the questions that I focused on when I was creating my list and when I was really thinking about what it is that I want to manifest. The first question is, what do you really want? That comes with this card, and that was the energy that I was getting from this card from our deck. What do you really want? It's easy to go simple. It's easy to say, I want a boyfriend. do you really want a boyfriend, or do you want to feel more loved? Do you want to feel more appreciated, or do you want to go out more? Or it's more like kind of digging a little bit deeper, going beyond the surface of what it is that you want. Now, I'm not saying if there's something simple that you want, go with it, because there's a lot of things that I want that are very simple, and they're on my list. But there's bigger things that I want out of my life too, like I ways that I already feel, but I want to deepen that. Not to get too personal or woo woo or whatever, but like my relationship with God and with spirit and with the universe and everything, I want to deepen that, and that's one of the things that I want to manifest in my life. But again, that's a long-reaching thing. So that's the first question that you ask yourself. What do you really want? Because you want to make sure that you're going to put your energy towards what really matters to you. And I think I was talking about that in the last video, about with the new moon, about how, sometimes you just want something, and it's just like, I'll go after a shot, whatever I see, I'll go online and I'll buy something and then I'll feel better. We're talking bigger than that here. I mean, we're talking about, like, this energy is so empowering. We're talking about the biggest dream that you've got in your life. This is when you want to put your energy towards it. Okay? That's the kind of energy that comes from the Lion Gates portal. And I'm really feeling it so much this year in 2022. I feel like this is just such a powerful year for us, coming out of 2 years where things were really we were in a very different world than we had ever been before, and that changed the way that we live, the way that we think, the way that we communicate with each other. And when things like that change, that changes you too. And hopefully it's changing you for the better, because that's what this is all about. Every day, you're good right now, you're getting a little bit better every day. I'm just kind of cheating and looking at my list, because otherwise my brain goes, ooh. So then the second question that I asked myself was, what are you willing to leave behind? Now, I'm not a big believer in release. I'm not a big believer in just getting rid of stuff, if that makes sense. Because, I mean, even like the worst experience that you've had in your life, it's part of your life. And it had some meaning for you. I guess for me, what that question is, what are you willing to leave behind? What is not feeling good? Are you willing to change that feeling? It can be very comfortable feeling bad. And misery loves company. It's very easy to get yourself a crowd of people or a friend who just loves to, join into the misery with you. And I think for me at least, and I think this is what I'm supposed to put out there for all of you, what doesn't feel good to you? If it's not feeling good, change it. Now is the time to do that. Before you start putting energy out there, look at the energy that you've got right now, and what is not feeling right to you. What thoughts do you have? What actions do you take? What words do you say that just don't feel good? And if you're finding that it's not as easy to change those things, I have a suggestion. And it can be like, sometimes people like this can be annoying. I know I am one of those people who, like, when somebody comes to me with something really, difficult situations, I'm trying to find the good in it. And it can be very annoying, but it can also be very empowering too, if you're able to find the good in something. find somebody who you can go to and say, oh my God, do you believe the price of gas? And they'll say to you, yeah, but you know what? It'll turn around. Let's talk about something better than that. Do you know what I mean? Stop focusing on what isn't working and start focusing on what is working. And once you start focusing on what feels good, what makes you happy, that's how you get more of that. So what are you willing to leave behind? Are you willing to change the way that you think? Are you willing to change the things that you say and the way that you act and the things that you communicate? It's a big question to ask yourself, and it can be really hard, but if you're determined and that is what you want, and if it's not what you want, don't worry about it. Just go along. I'm not saying that if you're complaining about the gas prices that you cannot manifest your greatest dream. Of course you can. It's just a thought. It's just something to think about when you're putting energy out there. It's those little things that you can do to make your experience and your whole energy that you put out there more positive, okay? And then the last question, and this is an even bigger one than the positive. How flexible are you willing to be? I can be a very A-type personality. I want things a certain way. As I've gotten older, I've gotten a little bit more mellow. Not a whole lot more mellow, but a little bit more mellow. The thing is, as I said already, the universe is fluid. The universe is not... You might say, I want a big diamond ring. You may not get that big diamond ring. Are you willing to be flexible if, say, I don't know, you come across a great sapphire? You know what I mean? I know that sounds kind of wacky, but I'm not going to give you personal examples, but I can tell you this. Some of those items that I have put on my list, I have already started to see opportunities come through to make those things happen, okay? They're not happening right away, but I have seen opportunities and I have jumped on those opportunities. There's some things that maybe I asked for one thing and I saw an opportunity for another thing and I thought, oh, wait a minute. That's even better. Do you know what I'm saying? How flexible can you be? The point of that is to be open to the universe. The universe is always going to present things to you. Are you receptive? Are you allowing different things in? Or are you clinging so tight and holding so tight to your perfect outcome that you're missing all of the other opportunities and wonderful possibilities that are around you? When you're manifesting, and especially when the Lionsgate portal is opening, and when it's open, you don't know what's going to come through. And I want you to be open to all of the good stuff that could come through that for you. But you have to be empowered enough to recognize it and to go for it when it comes to you. Not say, well, that wasn't what I asked for. That's okay. How does it feel right now? If it feels good, then go for it. Okay? That's what I want you to think about. So, those are the 3 questions. I think we talked about the date. You can start manifesting at any time. August 8th, obviously, is the main day. You'll see lots of different things going on that day, probably. Lots of videos and stuff about it. So, I did draw another card for the Lionsgate portal. I haven't looked at it yet, but we're going to look at it in a minute. But first, what I want to do is I want to talk about the Pleiades card that came out as our bonus card for the reading for the Leo season. The thing, obviously the Pleiades is part of the Lionsgate portal. So I just want to read this to you. This is, the Pleiades are about, the simplest way to put it is, it's a group of energies that wants you to recognize that when you help yourself, you're helping the whole universe. Okay? So here's kind of the little mantra that was going with this card. Let me be a channel for only the purest light of the essence of source. Let me channel in a way that also serves me. When you serve yourself, you're serving the whole world. When you're joyous, you're putting more joy into the whole world. That's the whole point of the Pleiades. Okay? So, that's something to think about too. Sometimes it can feel like we're being selfish when we're manifesting. No. When you're happy, you go out into the world and you spread all that happiness and joy around. And that's what I want for everybody and for you. Okay, so let's see what the cards have. Oh, ha, perfect. Okay, so the card that we drew for this is Have Faith. I love, look at the little pyramid shape even, right? Sorry, it's a little hot in here. The Have Faith card, okay? Air energy. That's all about your thoughts. It's all about communication. So focus on those things. Make them positive so that when the Lionsgate portal opens, your mind is open, your heart is open, your thoughts are open, okay? To all the wonderful things that are out there. You're putting good energy out, and that's what's coming back to you. And have faith in yourself, in the universe, in the whole world, in everybody and everything, because we're all in this together. And the more good we do for ourselves and the more good we put out there, the better world we have for everybody. Thank you very much. I will be back to talk about what comes next. Virgo. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful Leo season. I love Leo season. I hope you're having a wonderful time and you're feeling really good and you're enjoying beautiful days and beautiful times. And I'm wishing you lots of love and light and a very successful manifestational energy on the Lionsgate portal date. Until later.